Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Welcome to my intraday slash day trade analysis. You guys know how to do it. Go over the pairs that I look at on a regular basis and just look for intraday slash day trades, right? And so just a quick, just to go over the USD real quick. Let me actually full screen this. So just to go over the DXY real quick. Yesterday we had this bullish impulsive move on the daily time frame, and this is how the candle closed out on the monthly at this weekly support and resistance that I talked about on Sunday. So I was really happy to see that. So let's go on to the 1 hour. I did want to wait for this retracement to happen, which it already did, and so I'm very happy about that, and it actually stopped where I needed it to stop at. I wanted this push up, this bullish push, and a retracement down to here. So ideally for my USD pairs, I would have wanted to get in like when the DXY was down here, but that's totally fine because I also have arbitrage on my side, and so yes, this is where I would have wanted to get my entries in right here, but it is what it is. I didn't go over the charts yesterday, so this is what I'm going over the chart. So I'm still looking for price to go bullish and then even go up to these extensions. That's exactly what I'm looking for. And the DXY, we had this broken structure right here that it broke on the smaller time frame, and then so now retesting, I keep expected to go to the upside. So that is what I'm looking at for the DXY. Let me put this as a buy box. If you go over to arbitrage, you have the 1 hour time frame. It's starting to call for that buy on the 1 hour. The 15 minute as well is starting to call for that buy. So that's exactly why I'm like, let's go for this. I'm not gonna set the alert on the DXY. Let me actually come over here real quick and get rid of some alerts. See, this didn't even activate. That's what just gets me mad sometimes. Short entrance for this just set an alert. Cool. All right, so let's go on. Let's just go over now to the Euro USD. So EU, same thing. It made this bullish. I mean, it made this bearish move down to here. And just to show the monthly time frame candle closing. This is how the candle ended up closing on Euro USD. Held under this weekly support and resistance right here. And so daily, no, not daily, 1 hour time frame. So again, I did like the bearish push to the downside, got the retracement. Um, the 78.6 barely missed. The 76, I think, barely missed on this. And I still do expect, but I do still expect this to drop. And same thing as with the same thing as with the DXY. I expect this to continue and even go on to make lower lows, or even possibly come down to right here. That's where I want to come and take Euro USD overall back down to. And even on the 4 hour time frame, if we come over here and let's just say that we take this impulsive move on the 4 hour, even if I'm looking for buys, I would still want price to come down here to the 61.8 or even down to the 78.6 before I continue to to buy it. So that's why I'm more or less I'm looking for sales on EU. But overall, I do want to just see price continue and make lower lows. I want price to break this previous low that it made yesterday and then continue to the downside. So that's what I would like to see on EU. Let's go ahead and go over to arbitrage. Arbitrage did give us that sell entry a couple hours ago, but then it came and then it's telling us, okay, maybe it's not so much time to enter into this trade. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this alert for an entry. Arbitrage. Short once per bar close. Create. Let's go and take a look at the 1 hour. Yeah, the 1 hour is right at this lower danger zone right here. It did call for the sell exit right here, so I'm just kind of like iffy, kind of a little bit. But then on the naked charts, this is what I wanted. This is my entry that I got into like this just this morning because I was able to see it. This is what I would want to see. I'll go ahead and put my stop loss right there, sure. But again, guys, overall, this is the trade setup that I have. I should have really just gone over this last, like just on my channel and just talk about it so that you guys can see it as well. But this is what I'm looking at for EU, just for price to come, like it came up, it did it retraced up here and then it dropped back down. This could have been even a nice buy opportunity if I would have seen it, to be honest. But yeah, guys, this is what I'm looking at. Overall, this is like 100 pips to the downside, but I do love it. So I'm going to go ahead and get into that trade right now. Probably one of my more favorite trades to look at right now. 222, so that would be 1.19953. And I'm okay with getting in where the price is at right now because then my stop loss is going to be like, what, 25 pips instead of 22. So I'm going to go ahead and sell this. So with this entry right here, yeah, like 29 pips or 30 pips instead of it being like 22 pips back up there. But still, this is my entry right here that I got into with my account. So let's see how this EU plays out. I do like it a lot. And if it comes back to like the 78.6, maybe I'll get in another entry right there. Actually, I will put an alert right here. Just so that if price does come up here, I'll be like second entry opportunity. So we'll see how that plays out. But overall, EU 15-minute time frame, again, I'm pretty sure is going to be calling for that sell very shortly. This is the alert that I was waiting for. I wasn't going to get in on this 15-minute alert right here. It was just too much of an impulsive move. But I do want to get in over here. So we'll see how that plays out. So let's go on over to GPUSD. So GU was on some other stuff. GU is playing games, man. That's why when this hit my stop loss at break even, I was like, nah, I'm chilling. Or whatever yesterday. It was like, I'm chilling. Let me show the monthly candle close. So price closed under this weekly support and resistance. Rejected off of it again this morning. So one thing that I'm not really feeling about this though is that if I'm taking it from this swing, from this low to this high, that price is literally hitting off of the 71% and can continue to the upside. Now, I'm a little weary about if this is actually going to happen or not, but with the DXY, how it looks, I'm more bearish on GU rather than bullish. And so just seeing this movement right here, my personal opinion on an entry for GU would be kind of something like this. If this is where price is stopping at, right? If this is where price is stopping at, I'd want one more pushback up to like 61.8, 71% more, and then a drop. And hopefully we could finally get price to break through this structure right here because price has just been playing in this zone and basically this zone for like the past how many days. It's just been up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So I would love for price to break out. And then, I mean, realistically speaking, let me get rid of all those lines first. Or those lines. Realistically speaking, what I would really want is for price to impulse out of this range that it's in and then retrace to get in. That was what I would probably want out of everything for GU. But if I were to just look at this based off of what I'm seeing right here, I'd want price to come back up to 1.33800 and then drop. So that's what I would be looking for, like in an intraday trade wise. But as I said, what I would really want, and let me get rid of this line right here because it's not needed. But what I would rather have happen is if price can break through. Oops, I got text instead of something else that I wanted. Instead of that to happen, let me go to the 4-hour real quick. I would want price to break out of this zone that is, like I said, it's just been consolidating in. Breakout, retest, and then continue to the downside. That's what I would rather want to personally see on GU right now, because like I said, it's just been consolidating up here for a while now, and it's not the prettiest to get into. If you're playing the range, then absolutely, by all means, you could be making a lot of money because this is a how many pip range right here. Let's just say from this to up here. That's an 80 pip range. So you could have made 80 pips like 1, 2, 3, 4 times. You could have made 240 pips if you were playing this range. But overall, GU, like I said, I would want to really see the drop, retest, and continuation to the downside. If you are swinging this, because I did give a swing trade for the GU on Sunday. If you are swinging this, then this is what your trade is currently looking like. Like price is basically at the entry, and the stop loss was up here. Like so, the swing is still like valid, but like I said, price is just really consolidating in between these zones, which I don't care for necessarily, you know. Let me change the color of these real quick. All right, so again, what I really want to see with this happening here is that I want to see price end up breaking down to the downside, retesting, and then continuing to the downside. And that's just me personally. 4-hour GU 15-minute time frames already called for the sell. 1-hour time frame, it looks pretty sloppy. So yeah, 4 hours calling for the sell again. But again, like you guys remember yesterday how when it called for this, I was like, okay, let's get out. Then it dropped, came back up again. This could have just been a whole lot of losses right here. But overall, I do need to see this drop down to right here. Overall, I really do need to see that happen. If it doesn't happen, then I'd be surprised, to be honest, if I don't get that drop. But yeah, daily time frame, even the daily candles, guys. I mean, the daily candles are telling me that price does not want to continue going to the upside. It's been consolidating up here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the past 7 days, basically like a week and a half trading days. So again, if I could get that breakout to the downside, retest, then continuation, that would be much more cleaner. But if not, then again, I mean, with this move that just happened, I would really personally rather get in like right here at the 78.6 even. That would be solid at 1.3380. I don't think it's going to happen personally. I think we're going to probably get our breakout to the downside finally, especially with the DXY, how it looks, but it's too early to tell. So GU, going to let it chill. If you want, you can, like again, you could put your, you can get an entry like back up here if price does come back up, and then you can look for the type of breakout. But this is the only way how I'm getting into this trade. I'm not going to get in at the sell right down here, then wait for price to retrace on me or anything like that. I was playing that game with GE yesterday, ended up playing me. So not going to play that, you know, just waiting for the breakout, or if price can come back up here, then sure, I'll sell it. AUD USD. AUD USD. So 4-hour time frame, first of all, on arbitrage is starting to call for the sell, and it hasn't called for that sell like in a minute. So watching for that. But let's go into the 1-hour time frame. For AU, I personally would have definitely wanted price to go up a little higher, but I do see where it's coming from with this drop, because it started the drop like right here. And then it did retrace up to the 71%, even almost came to the 78.6, and then ended up dropping. But I would have rather had if price would have came up to this fib at 61.8 up here. That's what I personally would have rather had. And since I didn't get that, I can't really necessarily get into a position on AU. I did mention on the weekly analysis though, that if for the risky sellers, if you wanted to get in the sell, it was like a 20 pip stop loss type of thing. And so if you got into that like how I did, then you made money off of this move. But yeah, I still do think that this could end up dropping, because like I said, I see that this is what happened more. I do see this is what happened more. If I would have given the sell right here, you would have taken 70% of your profits here. But I do want to see price come down to 61.8. Go to the 4-hour time frame real quick. Let's get rid of all this as well. So it's not necessarily head and shoulders, but you know, it basically is at the same time, because this was your head, this was your left shoulder, your right shoulder. They're right next to each other at this resistance. If you draw this line out, you'll see that that's what it is. So yeah, that's a decent head and shoulders pattern up here on the 4-hour. I expect price to continue dropping. So basically, since I've already missed this entry, what I would want to look for AUD USD is a drop, retest, continuation to the downside. And let me see how that would suit up with this fib. If price were to drop and stay right there, yep, that's exactly what I'd want. The break, retest, continuation to the downside. So that's AU. 4-hour time frame, as I did mention, it is calling for that sell. I kind of like this sell, and if there was a trade that I would get into for AU, it'd be probably based off of arbitrage rather than based off of technical analysis at this very point in time. But arbitrage on the Level Pro, it is not necessarily giving that sell. Is not necessarily giving sell vibes right now. Neither is this down here. So it's kind of want to be patient with this. Just kind of want to be patient with it, see how it goes. It still has an hour and 39 minutes left to close, so this can change in the span of an hour and 39 minutes. So 1-hour time frame, already know that is given the sell. Yeah, gave the sell right here, retest, dropped some more a little. 15-minute over there, daily time frame definitely overextended, but that daily candle is not, these candles are not telling me price wants to sell. Wants to buy, is telling me more it wants to sell. So yeah, guys, I'm definitely looking for the sell on AU. If you're going based off of this, what I would suggest for a stop loss, this is more of a swing trade, although this could happen in the span of a couple hours. This would be my stop loss right here, like 32 pip stop loss, which makes the trade like a 1 to 3, because the TP for arbitrage is 50 pips away. And so again, like I said, this could be at the span of like a couple of minutes. You could wait for price to climb up a little higher at the RSI line, like I will, and then get the drop. If price does come up to 0.73560, then maybe I'll get into the sell. I'll go ahead and set the alert though for the 4-hour exit. Arbitrage, short exit all, once per bar close, and create. So we'll see how that goes with AU, but I do personally like the sell on it. Overall, as I've been saying for the past how many weeks, it's just been really annoying. So yeah, that's AUD USD. Let's go ahead and go on over to GBP AUD. All right, 1 hour time frame. All right, let's go to the daily actually. So on the daily time frame, I'm really not liking the sideways movement on GA. It's just been really sideways, personally. Don't care for it. And I do see some type of head and shoulders right here. I'm going to go into the 4 hour, maybe it's more noticeable there. It's not even head and shoulders because it's like even from down here. But yeah, see, that's why it says not even a head and shoulders type of thing. I don't really care for the buys on GA. I really don't, especially when I draw a trend line like this and then it matches up pretty nicely. So I don't really care. Wait, hold on, one more. See, when I put that on there on the 4 hour, wick, a little bit of wicking. Let me actually put this up a little higher because I can. So yeah, I'm not really crazy over the buys on GA necessarily. Although I do want GA to go bullish. That's what I personally want. It's just I'm not personally caring for it right now at this point in time. What I'd really want to see happen if I were to get into a buy on GA, just off of this move, although it's not necessarily impulsive, just off of this move where price went bullish right here, I would need to see price come back down to this area. Let me actually set an alert. Only once. I want to see price come down here into my buy box, into my buy zone, where I'd be searching for a buy on GA. We were able to get profits off of this move. And I did mention on my live analysis that if you wanted to take this long term, then the short term move, you'd only want to take like 50% of your profits, then move your stop loss to break even. But I wasn't managing that trade. I was only going for the intraday move. So yeah, we'll see how this plays out. But for me to get into it, I would need price to come down to my buy box, personally speaking. Let's go on over to GA. And what I would want to see on GA over here, kind of the same thing, guys. I'm not caring for the sells right now. I'm not caring for the buys right now. This was the buy that I had caught. That's funny. Price overextended out of that like crazy. Oops, I need that there still. Sorry. So 15-minute time frame, I'm more than certain is already called for a sell. Yeah, it's called for a sell like about an hour ago, right? It called for that sell. Not really looking to get into GA at this time. Like I said, if price, I like it more on the naked charts way more than on arbitrage right now, personally. So again, I would need price to come down to this buy box for me to get into it. And that's just that. I've set an alert at this line to tell me when it gets to the 61.8. But other than that, yeah, guys, we'll see how things go. Ooh, okay. There you go. Okay. So Euro AUD. Same thing with Euro AUD. Dang, this really went bullish, man. This went way more bullish than I wanted it to. This would have been the entry right here. Dang, right there. This would have been an entry for this move, but it's okay. So Euro AUD, kind of the same thing. I would really need it to come back down in order for me to buy it. And if this comes back down, AU is gonna not drop. So I'd rather just like not get into EA at this point in time, probably. But yeah, this is ultimately what I would want to see if I were to get into EA, but I don't think it's going to happen. It's already done L1 rise, L2 rise. Yeah, probably not going to end up playing out that way. Let's go over here. It is currently at this little, it is currently at this, not little, the heck? Thank you. It is currently chilling at this resistance right here. So if price can reject off of that and then go on, oops, not a buy box. Then if price can come back down to over here, my buy box, my general buy area, then I would look for a potential buy on EA. But until that happens, I'm just gonna chill, wait on it, and not try to trade it. You know, I mean, if price could definitely start to retrace right here, then maybe I could play the retracement, but I'm not really crazy over it. Daily time frame gave those bullish candles. Yeah, I would want a retracement than a pop up, but at the same time, it would be more better for EA personally for the long term if price were to break through these structures, the structure right here, to break it, retest it, then continue. That would look way better, personally speaking, than for price to just drop where it's at. Because if price drops where it's at, then probably it could just continue on to the downside. So that's that for EA. Let's go over, well, EA on the naked charts. Let's go over here. Daily time frame still hasn't called for the buy, and again, it probably won't until price gets that explosiveness to the upside, or not explosiveness, but the breakout of the structure right here, retest it, and then probably will call for a buy. But it doesn't even look good regardless. The 4-hour time frame, again, we had already missed this. I wanted price to bullish, retest, and continue. We never got that, unfortunately. It's showing that it's oversold up here. I mean, overbought, but I don't want to trade on overbought. I'd rather just wait for confirmations. And the 15-minute hasn't called for anything quite yet as well. So gonna just, just gonna hang out, chill, wait and see what EA does. I need that retracement more for an entry than anything personally. So this is what I'll be looking out for. And of course, I didn't set up this to be unlimited. It's all right. I'll be able to finish shortly. So yeah, so that's EA. Let's go over to EG. Back at my sell spot. Okay. So EG, I didn't necessarily want to trade it yesterday. I wanted to wait for that drop, and then we got the retracement up here. And I'll show you guys on the daily. Remember how I said on the daily time frame that price for rejects right here that I'm looking for bears on EG? I still feel that way right now, and I like the sells personally more than the buy, because again, if you go on the monthly time frame, you can see that this is a huge resistance on the monthly. This is pretty much basically the highs of EG, and me seeing it this way, I don't want to keep buying it necessarily. I'd rather just be looking more for shorts rather than for buys. So let's go into the daily. Or not daily, let's go into the 1 hour. So yeah, so from this drop right here that happened yesterday, let's just say that we got the drop from here. Right? Boom. Look where price ended up hitting at 78.6. It did almost hit the 90% fib. That's fine. I still want to sell this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and get in right here and move my stop loss to 17 pips. And I'm probably going to end up, not even probably, I am going to end up taking this trade. I like it a lot. So Euro GBP. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this sell. And stop loss is at basically 0.900. I don't like necessarily putting my stop loss at those type of psychological levels, but hey, why not? It's a good risk to reward trade. You're only risking about 19 to 20 pips, 17 pips to get 53 pips or even lower, because ultimately I would want to see this make a lower low. And if it does, that's almost 100 pips right there. So if you're able to hold your trades along like how I can, depending on the account, then you can definitely look for this 100 pip move on here. So this is what I'm going to be looking for, personally speaking. Yeah, I like this a lot right here. Let's go on to arbitrage. I'm pretty sure arbitrage disagrees with me, although it is showing some oversolds right here, but overbought, but price can literally still surpass this and continue to the upside, but that's not what I'm looking for. 1 hour time frame just called for the exit of the sell, so that's another thing that I'm not crazy over. 4 hour, nothing's calling for the buy. Nothing's calling for the sell. And same thing with this move. Oh, this happened like a couple weeks ago. Never mind. Let's go into daily rejecting off of this daily RSI line. I like seeing that personally for the sell. If price can hold under that, then we're still solid for the sell. Weekly time frame called for the sell about 2 weeks ago, and now it's still at this RSI line. I need this to fall. I need this to fall right here, right now. And so I'm just gonna hold my trade. And like I said, guys, if you can hold a trade as long as I can, then you're solid. Even monthly, it has prices at this upper danger zone, although it could still go higher. But yeah, I need the sells to pop up right now. So this is the play on EG. Let me actually put down the trades that I'm in. It's going over to Euro NZD. Okay, so Euro NZD. It gave us this monthly close at the support. I actually had to readjust this. Before I had it like up here, but I had to readjust the support. But as you guys can see, this is where the candle closed at on here. This is a very bearish monthly candle. So what I personally would want to see, first of all, I like seeing that price has just been like consolidating down here. And my home slice Seneca, he had posted in one group chat. If you draw the trend line, all you really want to do is necessarily wait for the breakout, retest, continuation to the upside on EN, if that's what it's going to do. Usually when I see price consolidating on a daily, I was reading a message, on a daily time frame, then I would rather want to see, on the smaller time frames, some type of breakout, which necessarily I haven't seen quite yet. Let me go into the 1 hour real quick. Yeah, this is kind of sloppy, man. I want to see price breakout of the zone first that it's in. And I just drew that line for illustrating purposes. So it came down here, up, down, up, down, up. I want to see price break out of this consolidating zone first before I decide on if I'm going to get into it. It's just really sloppy looking to me. And I mean, yeah, it is like showing signs that it could turn around. If you look at this impulsive candle here, because this is like a 15-minute move right here, I think. Yeah. If you look at it from this, if you take it from this low price at the 61.8, if you take it from this candle where price really started to go bullish, it's at the 71% currently. So I don't personally like the buy. I personally don't like it where it's at right now. I would want, like I said, I wanted to get out of this consolidation zone. It's kind of like with GU. GU, if this was GU just backwards, right? So kind of I do want the buys. I definitely do like the bulls more than the bears, but I just don't care for where it's at on the charts personally. Now let's go into arbitrage. Maybe arbitrage is giving you some different insight. Look, arbitrage even looks like it wants to call for the sell on the 1 hour, 15-minute time frame. It's called for the buy, but I'm not caring for how it looks. The 4 hour. Oh, this 4 hour is what may give me the confluence that I want. So right now, price is at this upper danger zone, and for those arbitrage users that are tuning in, if you would want, or not if you would want, yeah, if you would want, you can get into this risky trade right here as price is at this lower danger zone. I would just personally put my stop loss like a hair under, probably even under this candle right here. So I'd probably put my stop loss right here, but take profit is definitely longer term. 150 pips for 21 pips. That's a 1 to 6.83. But again, that's for arbitrage users. If you want to get into that, I'm probably just gonna end up waiting for the buy call to happen. Rather than that, that's for the risky arbitrage users again. So creates, and let's see how EN plays out. But I don't have anything for EN right now personally. Let's go on to gold. Mr. Gold. So finally ended up doing some bearish movement. Dang, this was solid from 8 o'clock yesterday. Just boom, one shot color. I should have looked at that at 8 o'clock yesterday. That would have probably been my entry because I was scalping gold. But anyways, it's cool. It happens. Personally speaking, with gold, what I would really need to happen for me to get into this trade, let's just take it from here even. I would need price to come back down to 1785 at least for me to get into the trade to continue to the upside. So if I don't get that, then hey, I missed it. It is what it is. You're not going to get all your trades sometimes. But yeah, this is what I'm looking for a buy. I don't know how many of you guys checked out my analysis where I had said that right here, boom, price, this was a perfect spot to look for buys on a longer term. Where's the rectangle at? Yeah, so this was, like I said, this was looking good for a buy on the longer term. So you could have definitely have easily gotten a sell position down here at 1782, and you would be up how many pips in profit? You would have been up 251 pips in profit. So as I was saying before this cut off, so gold was, like I mentioned, over here at 1782 could have been a nice entry on gold, and I didn't get into it on demo like how I said I was going to with the 0.01 because this is a huge swing. But regardless, I did, like I mentioned to you guys, this was a really good buy entry for a swing. That would have been like a sniper entry if you were to like get a sniper entry from a swing. Let's go to the 4 hour real quick. No, 1 hour, sorry. So yeah, 1 hour time frame, I would need price to come down to 1785 at least for me to get into the buy. So let me go ahead and set that up. Stop loss would be right there. And then continuation to the upside. This would be for the shorter term. I can't not see this as well either happening. That price ends up coming to hit this stop loss. But then I would just end up trying to do this, just extending the fib to the actual swing low, and then I would want to be looking for entries at 1777 or 1774. So that's what I would personally be looking at for gold for entries. Let's go over here. 15-minute and 1 hour already hella overextended. I already know. Well, no, 15 minutes overextended. 1 hour is solid. It just said take profit if you were using arbitrage. And for the 4 hour time frame, this is what I would want to see personally. If it did call for the sell, price to boom a little bit, retest the broken RSI line, then continue to the upside. So that's what I'm looking at for gold. We'll see how things play out on it, but definitely no rush to trade it. U.S. indices, man. These U.S. indices, they are trifling sometimes. Okay, so basically these U.S. indices, they're at all-time highs. I personally cannot buy anything when it's at an all-time high. I would have to wait for some type of retracement before I get into a buy for the US indices. And so let's go into the daily time frame. If price holds up over here, then this is for risky traders. This is for the risky traders of the world. If price holds up over here, take that sell, man. But I'm not gonna take that sell with you. It's way too risky for me. I mean, if I were to take a sell, my stop loss, if I were to take this trade, my stop loss would probably be up here. If I wasn't having such a bad couple of weeks in my personal account, that I probably would have taken. I probably would take this risky ass sell and take it to the downside. Have a 20 point stop loss, but that's definitely not what's happening here. So not gonna do it. Gonna just wait for more confirmations to tell me that this is gonna sell. I mean, if I was looking for a buy opportunity, which that's what I'm seeing more of here than a sell, is I'd want price to come down to 3622 right here, right? I'd want price to come chill over here at my buy box and then end up rejecting off here, then continue to the upside. It is Christmas, and I remember last year in December, the S&Ps, they went crazy. Well, not crazy, but they went bullish. I was trying to sell them because I was like, oh, well, price is going to end up selling. It's at an all-time high, therefore I don't think it's going to happen. That's not what it did. Let me go and actually show, because I know I took a fat loss last year December from that, but it is what it is, you know. So look, so December, I was thinking like around here-ish. This is where price was gonna sell. I think I was trying to sell US 30 and not S&P, but still I was trying to get like sells on it, and then look what prices ended up doing. It ended up actually going and create a higher high and create all-time highs. So that's why I'm like, not too sure if the S&Ps are gonna drop this year just because of what happened last year to me, you know? So again, risky traders, by all means, y'all can try to sell right here. But me, I'm looking more for the buy personally. Although I hate buying at highs, that's all I can really see is S&P continuing to the upside. Now, although the point of control, if you put it out, is there's literally nothing up here. The point of control is down here, but still, like I'm not feeling the buys right now necessarily, but neither am I looking for sells. So that's for the S&P. Let's go to the Dow Jones, and then let me just now go show the Dow Jones when I was trading it last year, right? So yeah, like around like right here-ish, when price came and made this double top, this is literally what I tried to trade. I remember that like yesterday because I lost a lot of money on it. So I tried to trade this. I was like, okay, price came up here, double top right here, tried to sell it. I got stopped out right here, lost like $2,000 or something dollars, I think. And then price ended up making a higher high and then ended up dropping from COVID. So again, right now price is at all-time highs, not necessarily looking for any type of opportunity necessarily on the S&P. I mean on Dow Jones. I do like how price is holding right here though. But if it goes anything higher than this, then I'm just like leave it alone. Don't touch it type of thing. Which I think it actually is going to do. I mean, price did end up popping, retesting down here to 71%, and then popping back up. So again, I'm not really feeling the Dow Jones for a sell at this very moment. There's no reason for me to be selling it. I mean, on the 4-hour, it does kind of look like, oh, head and shoulders. You have the left shoulder, your head, your right shoulders right here. It could very well do that. It could be very well setting up for a buy to sell right here. And if it does, then hey, I'm totally down because take a look at this. If you just throw the fib from this high to this low, 71% fib. So maybe, like again, maybe that's what's going to happen here. I'm not too sure about it, but I'm not crazy over it either. So just got to watch out and see what price is going to do. But overall, I mean, hey, again, for those that are more, not riskier, but for those that are more down for this type of trade, by all means, you could take it, but just be careful with it. So I could say, I do like it, but personally, like I said, if I wasn't having such a bad couple of weeks on my personal account, then I would probably end up taking this trade. But I can't, but I do like it. So I'm going to set it. I might put a small lot size on my account just so that I could say that I'm in the trade. But yeah, you know what? Yeah, let me go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and set a very small trade on this. 30219. This isn't intraday by any means, but it still is pretty solid. I did not just set like 3 different trades. It's just me like adjusting my stop loss. So yeah, let's see how that goes. I do like the trade. I just personally, from last year, knowing what happened last year, I don't think that this could play out, but let's see what happens, you know? Ripple is finally starting to act right. I actually got out a little early, got back in earlier today. So I'm happy about that. But Ripple is definitely starting to act right. I'm still going to let it play out. Bitcoin. If I told you I got stopped out this morning, would you believe me? I got stopped out. I had tried to get into the sell right here. My stop loss was literally at 19,820. It came and hit it. Ended up dropping. So it is what it is. Price came back to our entry. Still gonna just wait and see how this plays out. I'm kind of pissed actually that I got stopped out, because I woke up, I was stopped out, and then ended up seeing price dropping. So this kind of irritated me. But like I've been telling Peyton, I personally don't think that this is gonna pop to 20,000 just yet. And if it does, then I would be happy. But I don't think it's gonna happen just yet. I would need that. I want to see 15,000. I want to see 15,500, or at least 16,000, and then a wick down to the downside. That's why I still want to see. But overall, not really. Not really feeling Bitcoin that much either. So what I'm going to do now is take this fib here. So off of this impulsive move, I'm really mad that, like, literally this candle right here, this candle, it waked me out and then dropped. That really irritated me. But yeah, I don't want to see price come back up and then probably end up dropping again. Because again, I do really, on Bitcoin, I don't think that it's going to go and hit 20,000 just yet. I do want it to come down to like 15,000 before it continues and booms to 20K. That's just my personal opinion on it. I could be very much wrong, but let's see how it plays out. But again, Ripple is now in profit on this trade. Let's see where I would move my stop loss at, because I would need the same amount of pips that I'm risking for it to be the same amount of pips that ends up like reaching. So let's see. Ooh, so I would need price to come down to 0.54 cents for me to move my stop loss to break even. Now, right here where price is at is not a bad place to move to break even, but that's just basically the same amount of drawdown we were in. So yeah, just waiting on Ripple. It's in profit right now, still expected to continue dropping. Let's go on to USD CHF, because this is a pair that was trading yesterday. All right, so Got the impulsive move, the retracement. I'm just gonna go based off of right here. Oh, this is at break even, by the way. I have a feeling that price is at the 61.8 from this fib. Yes, perfect. 61.8. This is the fib where it's at. Personally speaking, I'd probably, yeah, I'm most likely, well, it's already moved a little bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and actually wait for price to come down a little lower to get into this buy right here, then continue to the downside. My stop loss is going to be at my previous entry, so that if I do get knocked out, then it's just the whole trade I'm knocked out of. So this is the second entry. And again, stop loss is right here at 0.90400 where our previous entry was. And yeah, let's continue with this bad boy up. That's for you, Chef. GJ, I kind of blew the ball under this one again because I could have gotten the second entry, but it's fine. Not tripping over it. Oh, GP and ZD. That's what I was looking at the other day. I didn't necessarily. I was just looking for the intraday move, and then it happened. This doesn't look bad. This does not look bad. I still want this to happen for price to come up to the 71%, but this does not look bad. The GPs just look like they want to fall though. Not crazy over this. Yeah, GN, not really crazy over how it's looking. I see a double top formation right here, then a drop. But this could still pop, realistically speaking. If I'm taking it from this low, if I'm taking the fib from this low to the high, price is still at the 71%, just rejected off of the 78.6. So this could still very well pop, you guys. This is actually a pretty nice entry for a buy if you're looking for buys on this. It's really nice. It looks, I like it. So, and this is for those who want to trade it, but let's go ahead and do that. I'm not personally going to get into this, but I do want to see, I would love to see price come up here from where it's at currently. So I'll give updates on it naturally. So boom, boom. And your stop loss would be right here. All right, and then let me get rid of this fib. There you go. So this is what I would want to see on GN. And if it doesn't play out, then it is what it is. It's a 40 pip stop loss. You're looking for 172. That's not terrible. Let's see how that plays out. It's kind of like EN, where I'm not really feeling EN, but I do want to see the pop more than the drop. Pop, lock, and drop it. A. I don't know how many people remember that song. But yeah, so any of the pairs anybody wants me to take a look at. If not, then I'll be on my very way. Nothing. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you for hopping on to the analysis. I'll go ahead and get the recording posted up as soon as possible. I have to do some editing because I forgot to make sure that it was unlimited. But yeah, let's see how this plays out. For those who are online, y'all got the trades, and for those who aren't, and if price goes our way, then sorry, question mark. All right, y'all, later.